Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Angel Lydia. If you're new here, welcome, and if you've been here before, welcome back. So, in today's video, my topic is how to get men that act right. Before I dive deep into this video, I want to preface and say, for the women that think that there are no men out there that will treat you right, you're absolutely wrong. And the fact that you have that idea of men is probably why men are showing up like that in front of you. You need to change that mindset, thinking that there are no good men out there or men. You can't find a man that acts right. Stop thinking that. That's your first step. That's your first step in getting a man to act right. So what you want to do is you want to understand that other people in this world are you pushed out. What do I mean when I say that? If you have that idea that you are not ever going to find a man that acts right, if you feel like you are not deserving of a man that acts right, you wonder, you just, whenever you see other women getting the treatment that you want, you think to yourself that, hey, this is not going to happen for me. That's just not a part of my story. And when you put that out into the world, telling if you're showing up as that person that never gets chosen, never gets what she wants, then that's exactly what you're going to get in life. So you have to switch that around. Start thinking that, hey, I deserve that. I deserve men to treat me in the best way. I deserve the exact same treatment that I see other women get that I want for myself. Start believing first that you deserve it, because if you don't believe you deserve it, if you don't believe it's ever going to happen for you, or you believe it's hard, it's far away, then watching videos like this won't even help you, because you have to figure out your beliefs first. You have to change your beliefs first. You have to make your beliefs work for you. Because have you ever heard in the Bible that you just need the faith of a mustard seed? Literally, you just need to have a little bit of faith. You don't have to have a lot of faith. Just a little bit of faith, and just thinking that it's a possibility for you. That's all you need to think. Point number 2 is having high standards. People don't understand the power of standards. Okay, the standards that you have in your dating life, if you have the right standards, that in itself can make sure that you're only getting the guy that's going to act right. Okay, when you have standards that you are not going to go back on, then the guy that's going to stay, the guy that's going to put up with it, is the guy that's the man that acts right. All right, make sure that your standards are a match to what you desire. Say you want a man that's going to provide, but you don't have that standard. For example, you want a man that's going to provide for you, but then you attract a guy that is showing you that he's not going to take you on dates. He's not going to buy you gifts. He's not going to do any of that for you. And you're deciding, well, hey, at least he has this. At least he's doing this. At least he has a good job. No. You want a man that's going to provide for you, so your standards needs to align with that. And then when you set your standards and you see that the guy is not a match, what you have to do afterwards is leave him. All right? And sometimes we think other women are doing something. There's something special that women are doing. That's why that's why they get these guys. No. Even the trashy men are approaching women. I promise you, the most beautiful women, even trashy men are approaching them. But guess what? They have such high standards that those men can approach, but they're never going to step a foot in the door. Okay? And that is the exact line between you and them, is you abiding by your standards. All right? Before I had a certain type of standard, I was in a relationship where we went on dates when it matched with his schedule. And it was definitely was not the man that I wanted, but because I wasn't as disciplined with my standards. So that's how I ended up with a guy that really didn't align with the man that I desired in my life. And a lot of times, ladies, we don't like to take responsibility, but guess what? You have to. You have to take responsibility, especially a beautiful woman. And you wonder why, hey, why are men not treating me how I see other men treating women? Why are they not giving me that treatment, that princess treatment? Because you don't have the standards. That's simply it. You don't have those high standards. You're not giving the men the bar to go up to. So simply, it's a you problem. I mean, I'm not saying that it's all you, but you have to understand that if the man does not align, instead of trying to change him, trying to fix him, trying to look at the positive, you need to look at what you want in your life and stick to those standards, baby. My next point that I want to touch on is having discipline. There is a point in your life where you have to develop discipline. If you're at a point where you're fed up, you're tired because you feel like the men in your life or the men that you attract are not acting right. After curating your standards, you have to develop a form of discipline, all right? Meaning, regardless of what you feel inside, because of course sometimes we feel lonely, sometimes we feel like we want to be in a relationship, we just let's just date someone and it's fine. No, that's not how it's going to be. What you're going to do is you're going to create discipline for yourself until you find that guy that is aligned with you. There's no such thing as compromising too much when you have discipline, all right? When you have enough discipline for yourself, that's when you start getting men to act right. When you understand that, hey, this is what I want and this is the only thing I'm going to accept, and that's the only time you're going to start attracting men that act right. When you decide that that's what you're going to accept in your life. A lot of times we don't understand the power that we have. We have the power, all right? You have the power to decide what kind of man you end up with. I always say, listen, all my past relationships that did not work out or I was not with a man that aligned with me, that was my fault. That was me choosing to be in that relationship. And I made the decision for me. And you know what? That empowers me because it makes me understand that, listen, this is all me. I chose to be with them. So if I'm with a good man, I chose him. I have understood that I have the power to choose who comes into my life. I mean, like, I cannot control who approaches me, but I can control who I'm with. I can definitely control who I am with. All right. And create discipline for yourself. And that is when you'll start attracting men that act. My other point that I want to touch on, and I always talk about this in my videos, but work on how you present yourself to the world. All right. For example, if you want a guy that is a business owner, a guy that is impressive, he has a good job, maybe or financially free. You want to be able to present yourself as the woman that he would want to be with. All right. So you cannot be okay with your hair looking a mess every day, not putting yourself together, like literally looking a mess, and thinking you're going to attract the man of your dreams, the man that acts right, the man that is just doing everything. But you're not being the woman that that man would pick. You're not choosing to be her, but then you're upset that you're not getting him. How does that work? You have to be aligned with that man, all right? So understand, number one, that you are worthy of getting the man. And number two, acting the part, dressing the part, becoming her. Dress like a woman that had a man that acts right. Dress like a woman that is getting treated beautifully. And then you can become that woman. If you're going to go out looking like a crazy person, when will that man approach you? When? Literally when? I don't understand it. Women will approach and ask, hey, how can I get a man to act right? How can I get a good man? But sometimes we just have to look in the mirror and understand, like, listen, I'm not even putting myself together to even get the guy. Like, I'm not making sure that I put an effort out there to look presentable. Even for yourself. I like to look presentable for me because I want to look in the mirror and be like, yes, that, like, you look good. So I don't understand why you would think as a woman that you do not have to take care of yourself. And then you think you're going to end up attracting a good man, attracting a man that you want, attracting a man that's going to provide, attracting a man that has his ish together, attracting a man that is going to be a father figure. You need to become that woman that that man would want to be with. My last and final point of getting the man that acts right is you want to create a sense of feeling okay in your solitude. A man will always respect or value or even cherish a woman more if she is okay with being alone. She's okay with walking away because she's okay with not being with him or being single for a while. You have to understand that if you are clinging on to a man and making him feel like he's so important, he's never going to feel like he has to do anything to like make you happy or do anything to keep you, because you're not giving him that challenge like, hey, you better step up or I'm going to step out. So you kind of want a man to always feel like there's a possibility of you leaving if he is not acting right. He can never be completely comfortable, because guess what? When men are comfortable, they act up. All right. When men are comfortable, they will act at. They will show out. So you never want him to be too comfortable. And that is the perfect way to get a man to act right. When he understands, like, hey, if you're not going to take me on these dates, if you're not going to take care of my bills, if you're not going to make sure that I feel like a princess while I'm with you, I'm going to leave you. And you don't even have to say that to a man. You don't have to say, I would never just say it to him. But honey, he's going to know by my actions. He's going to know, because whenever he does something I don't like, I'm going to pull back. And because I'm okay with him not being in my life, I'm going to pull back. Because I'm not going to give you my energy for you to not give me what I want. I'm only here and I'm only allowing you to be my man because you are doing what I want you to do. You're being the man that I want in my life. Understand that you have a lot of power and you can choose. And this is never the last man on earth. If you're thinking, hey, nobody's going to love me like he loves me, nobody's going to do me how he does me, nobody's going to treat, then you've already lost. You've already lost. You have to understand that there's an abundance of good, providing men in the world. And that is when I started getting treated right by men, is when I decided that there's an abundance of these type of men in the world. And if you're not going to do it, I'm going to leave you and I will find someone else that's going to treat me how I want to be treated. That is how I started attracting the right men, when I was okay with being alone. It's kind of funny, but the moment I was okay with being alone, being by myself, is the moment I started attracting relationships, attracting the right relationships, attracting men that were the men that I wanted. It took me being okay with being by myself. And you gain a lot of self-respect from being okay with being by yourself. And when you have self-respect, you will not tolerate bad behavior from men. You'll not tolerate a man not acting how you want him to act. So I really want you to get to that point of loving yourself enough that you're okay with being alone. You're okay in your presence. You're okay to leave. Be okay to leave a man just like that. Just like that. Leave him. Leave him. Be okay with leaving him. Be okay with being alone. Literally go read a book. Go figure out your life. Go figure out what you want to do. Build a business. Build something for yourself. And that will make you so fascinated in what you got going on that, you know what, hey, I'm so busy at times that really I don't even need you. I don't need you right now. If you're not going to act how I want you to act, you're not going to provide, you're not going to do any of that, you're not going to bring value to my already valuable life, then you have to go immediately. And that is the best form, that is the best way for you to be able to be okay with a man leaving your life, is when you're already fulfilled by your life. You're already fulfilled just from being yourself. Regardless of what you got going on, you're just fulfilled. You have a happy life. You have a well-rounded life. Build your life so that when a man comes into your life, he's like, hey, oh my God, like, it's fun here, because people remember the experiences they have with you, how you make them feel. If you're worried about yourself and you're like, that's already an experience. The best seductive women in this world are women that have a personality. They have a life. They're not revolving around the man. Actually, when a man comes in their life, the man revolves around them. The man is like, hey, what can I do to make this better? What can I do? Like, let me help you with this. Because you already have a well-rounded life. You already have things going on. I don't care what it is. It could be just you going to gym, going to Pilates, having dates with your friends, having this done. You have your little brunches, you have your little stuff, you have your little teeny business that you're working on. And listen, it doesn't have to be big things. It just has to be important to you. So when a man comes in, he's gonna be like, hey, she's like, she has a lot going on. Let me see how useful I can be. Let me help her. Let me bring some value, because a man needs to bring value to your life. And you have to understand that you have the power to choose a good man. And when you have a beautiful life, your life is so fulfilled, you're not going to accept nothing but what you want. Make yourself to a point where you don't even need someone to be in your life. Like, you would love it, but you don't need it. And then whenever they're acting up, you got to go. And someone else will be taking your place. Best believe. All right? And that is how you attract men to do right. When you start doing right by yourself. I know it always comes back to you. It always comes back to you. And everything that I've worked on, every trauma I've worked on, everything that I have changed in my life, it started from me. Changing me, changing how I feel about things, changing about what I think I'm going to attract in this life. Everything started with me. So if you're ready to attract men that's going to act right, then you need to change you. I'm Angel Lydia. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!